Tapa, Tapa, Tapa. Brahma was trying to understand who he was, where he'd come from, and the purpose of his existence. He'd been searching for answers for the past 1,000 celestial years, or 2.1 billion Earth years. He had even entered the stem of the lotus from which he was born, trying to search for its root, but without success. He could now hear the sound vibrations of the word Tapa, austerity. He looked everywhere, in all directions, but could not find anything else in the universe but the lotus on which he sat. Hearing the word austerity being repeated, Brahma sat with fixed determination and began to meditate. He continued his meditation for a further 1,000 celestial years. On completing of his meditation, Brahma heard the sound of Krishna's flute. After entering his ears, the sound of his flute came out of his 4 mouths as the Gayatri mantra. Pleased with Brahma, Lord Narayan manifested to Brahma the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. There, Brahma saw Lord Narayan with his eternal consort, Lakshmi Devi. He also saw the devotees of Lord Narayan who eternally reside in the spiritual world, serving their master. Brahma became filled with joy and bowed down prayerfully. Lord Narayan said, "All of me, namely my actual eternal form and my transcendental existence, color, qualities and activities, let all be awakened within you by my factual realization, by my causeless mercy. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who is existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead. And after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. O Brahma, whatever appears to be of any value, if it is without relation to me, has no reality. Know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness. O Brahma, please know that the universal elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I, myself, also exist within everything created, and at the same time I'm outside of everything." Having imparted knowledge to Brahma and having instructed him to create and populate the universe, Lord Narayan disappeared, and Brahma found himself once again back on the same lotus in the material world. He could understand that he was simply creating that which had once existed before, which would be destroyed in the future, and which had to be recreated after. The origin of the spirit soul is the spiritual world, where he eternally resides as a servant of the Supreme Lord. However, due to a misuse of independence, the living entity can desire to enjoy separately from the Lord. To accommodate this desire, the Supreme Lord creates the material world where the living entity can attempt to fulfill this desire. Lord Krishna expands himself into Karanadakshay Vishnu or Mahavishnu. The space where Mahavishnu lies down becomes the entire material world, or the Mahatattva. Mahavishnu then activates the Mahatattva through his glance. As Mahavishnu breathes, unlimited universes are generated from the pores of his skin. And as he breathes in, these universes are retracted. Thus, the universes continually go through endless cycles of manifest and unmanifest states. Mahavishnu then expands into each and every universe as Garbhodakshay Vishnu and lies on the serpent Ananta Shesh. When Garbhodakshay Vishnu opens his eyes and desires to create, the subtle form of creation is generated from his abdomen, taking the form of a lotus stem and flower. From that lotus, a Brahma is born in each universe. The same Brahma now began to create the 14 planetary systems. Having created the planets, he created all immovable living entities, the various trees and plants. He created them with the lowest level of consciousness, yet able to feel a sensation of pain. Next, Brahma created the lowest species of life, the numerous animals and birds. Though more conscious than plants, the animals would know only hunger and thirst, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Then he created humans. Finally, Brahma created the demigods, demons, and angels. Throughout history, many great thinkers have come to the conclusion that this universe has some higher intelligence behind it. But in more recent times, science claims to have solved the problems of creation. It is all due to a Big Bang. The origin of the Big Bang they describe is a point of zero volume, infinitesimal density, and immeasurable temperature. A mathematical impossibility known as a singularity. As Stephen Hawking, the great physicist since Einstein, remarks, the singularity is outside the scope of all presently known laws of physics. Nothing can be said about it, and all calculations on it go haywire. But even if the universe did begin with a singularity, where did it come from? Stumped by this problem, scientists try to solve it with the Rebounding Theory. The universe goes through an endless cycle of expansions and contractions. But even for this, there is no workable explanation. In fact, many prominent physicists have pointed out there still must have been a singularity at some point. Then there are virtual particles that almost exist, but not quite. Another well-accepted theory goes that once in a while, out of the sea of these virtual particles, one springs into real existence. But instead of just a particle, it happens to be an entire universe. Other ideas include a white hole, a cosmic quasar that gushes out universes, or a wormhole, a space-time tunnel, popular with Star Trek fans no doubt. The list goes on. It is clear that the modern scientific theories on the origin of the universe are not based on verifiable facts. None of these theories can be proved or substantiated. The Vedas describe the origin of the universe as coming from a higher intelligence, giving precise details of how the universe expands and contracts, changing from a manifest to an unmanifest state. Dating back millennia, they describe the entire process of creation and provide a detailed analysis into its composition. The Vedas describe the earth as spherical, giving exact measurements of its radius, circumference, how much the earth bulges at the equator, distances between planets, and the specific orbits of each planet are also given. This is clearly verifiable scientific fact. So why should the Vedic account of the origin of the universe be any less scientific than the accounts given by the modern day scientists?